Beauty jumps through window to escape giant piranha. Sharp teeth. The neon lights of the riverside city flickered against the black water, their colors bleeding into the current like spilled paint. The Dragon Moon Festival was in full swing. Crowds gathered along the docks, street vendors shouted over the pounding drums, and fireworks painted the sky. But beneath the surface, in the slow, murky flow of the Chunlon River, something stirred. Something huge. Something hungry. The first splash. Lume was not thinking about monsters. She was thinking about the ridiculous high heels she had worn to the festival. The shoes were perfect for the fashion shoot she'd just done, red satin, 6 inches tall, but not for running through crowded streets. She had been walking near the old warehouse district, looking for her friends, when she first heard it. A deep, wet thunk, followed by a ripple of screams. She glanced toward the water just in time to see a fishing boat tilt violently to one side, its crew vanishing beneath the surface in a froth of bubbles and red spray. "Is this part of the show?" a man beside her muttered. Then something enormous broke the surface. It wasn't a shark. It wasn't a dolphin. It was a fish, but one longer than the fishing boat itself. Its silver scales caught the light in flashing streaks, and its mouth, good heavens, its mouth was a nightmare. Rows upon rows of serrated teeth, each the size of kitchen knives, glistened in the moonlight. It let out a low, guttural grinding noise, like stone against stone. The crowd screamed as the giant piranha lunged at the nearest dock. 2. The chase begins. People ran in every direction. Lume did what anyone with a brain would do. She kicked off her heels and bolted barefoot through the narrow alley between 2 warehouses. Behind her, she could hear the sound of splintering wood as the monster smashed through the dock. Something slapped against the wet concrete, followed by a heavy, slithering scrape. Dear God, it was following her on land. Her phone buzzed. A voice message from her friend Jia. "May, don't go to the river." The thing, oh no. The rest was cut off by a horrible crunching noise. She didn't listen twice. 3. The warehouse horror. The alley opened into an old glass factory that had been converted into artist lofts. The place was quiet. Most of the residents were out at the festival. She slammed the heavy door shut behind her, trying to catch her breath. A faint vibration traveled up through the floorboards. Something was moving outside. She peeked through a broken window. The giant piranha was dragging itself up the street, its huge body twisting like a wet rope, fins flaring for balance. It shouldn't have been possible. Piranhas weren't supposed to walk, but its muscular body used the street itself like water, slithering forward in horrible leaps. It turned its massive head toward the factory. Its eyes, small, black, and glassy, locked onto hers. 4. Glass and teeth. May backed away from the window. There was a boom as the monster's head slammed against the wall, rattling the old frames. The building shuddered. Dust fell from the ceiling. She knew she had to get out before it brought the whole place down. The back exit was blocked by stacks of art supplies and scaffolding. No good. That left the front and the big, panoramic glass windows. Another slam. This time, the fish's mouth punched through the wall, snapping wildly at the air. Its breath reeked of rot and river mud. She didn't think. She ran full tilt toward the nearest window. 5. The leap. Time slowed. She could hear her own breathing, the rapid drum of her heart. The window was old, cracked from years of neglect. Her bare feet pounded the wooden floor. Behind her, the piranha's head burst into the room, teeth slicing the air where she had been standing seconds ago. She launched herself at the glass. Crash. Shards exploded around her as she flew out into the night air. 6. The drop. The ground was a good 10 feet below. May tucked her knees, hit the asphalt hard and rolled. Pain shot through her shoulder, but she didn't stop. She scrambled to her feet, blood trickling down her arm. The monster roared, a deep, watery bellow, and slammed its head against the broken window frame, trying to squeeze through. Its teeth caught on the wood, ripping huge splinters free. May didn't wait to see if it would succeed. She ran. 7. Predator in the streets. The city was chaos. Festival goers had realized the danger, and panic rippled through the streets. Police sirens wailed, their flashing lights cutting across the darkness. May dodged between overturned stalls and scattered fireworks. Behind her, the piranha tore free from the factory with a sound like breaking bones. A police car skidded around the corner ahead of her, officers waving frantically. "This way! This way!" one shouted. Before she could reach them, the ground exploded. The giant fish burst from a storm drain, sending water and debris spraying. One officer disappeared instantly, swallowed whole. May ducked under its snapping jaws and sprinted for the nearest building, a karaoke bar with a glowing pink sign. 8. A deadly game of hide and seek. Inside, the music had stopped, replaced by screams. Patrons scrambled for the stairs, pushing past each other in blind terror. May shoved through a private room and slammed the door, her chest heaving. The sound of wet, heavy movement echoed in the hall. Then silence. She dared a glance through the paper-thin door. The piranha was there, half its body inside the building, sniffing, or whatever passed for sniffing, along the corridor. Its teeth scraped the walls, leaving deep gouges. She had nowhere to go. 9. The final escape. The only exit was the window at the far end of the room, again. But this time, the glass opened onto the festival bridge over the river. The same river the piranha had come from. Her brain screamed bad idea, but her legs didn't care. She yanked the window open and climbed onto the ledge. The monsters had shot into the room, smashing tables and sending a rain of broken bottles across the floor. May jumped. She landed on the bridge, pain jolting through her knees. Fireworks erupted overhead, red, gold, blue, casting the river in shimmering light. The piranha lunged onto the bridge after her, the whole structure groaning under its weight. She ran to the far end, where police had set up a barricade. "Jump," one officer shouted. Into the truck. A flatbed truck with a giant steel cage was waiting. She dove inside just as the piranha snapped at her heels. 10. The trap closes. The monster followed, but as soon as it leapt into the cage, the door slammed shut. Reinforced steel held, and the truck roared to life. May collapsed against the bars, trembling. The piranha slammed against the cage, its teeth sparking against the metal. But it was caught for now. As the truck carried it away, the officer beside her gave a shaky laugh. "You're lucky you made that jump." May stared at the black water flowing under the bridge. For a moment, she thought she saw another shadow moving beneath the surface. Her stomach turned cold.